Okay, I want to talk about penalties. This is another differentiator between banks and monoline lenders. So, in general, if you have a closed mortgage, usually a closed fixed mortgage, and you want to get out of that mortgage, there's a penalty. And the penalty usually is the greater of 3 months interest, or what we call IRD, or interest rate differential. Both banks and monoline lenders use the same formula, but it's a little bit different. How is it different?
Well, it's different because we go discount to discount rates rather than the posted rate that the banks use. So this can be a dramatic difference. Well, and I'm talking IRD here for everyone. Our 3 months interest penalty on the adjustable rate mortgages is very similar. But when we're talking fixed rate IRD calculations, this is where such a difference can be made, because when we're taking our discount rates, when we're looking at that, calculating the penalty against that rather than the 5-year posted rate out there, I have seen differences of over $20,000 on penalties. No joke. And this is something that doesn't get talked about enough. And if you don't mind, I want to tell you a real quick story here,
I'd love
Mark.
to hear it.
I was recently in my bank. I'm not going to mention which bank, but I was in there for other purposes on investments, and they asked me. They said, "Can can we have a shot at bringing your mortgage over?" And I said, "Well, I said, tell me about the mortgages you're offering." And I wanted to hear what they were talking about, especially on the fixed rates. And I then asked, I said, "Okay, tell me about your IRD penalties." Um, this was a 15-year bank employee. Again, I'm going to repeat that, 15-year bank employee. And they said to me, "Well, what is an IRD?" So I said, "Interest rate differential." I said, "Tell me about the penalties, how you calculate it." Sadly, she said, "I don't know what that is." Um, that is shocking. It's shocking and scary when you hear something like that, because now you know they're not explaining this to the end user. Sure, sure. One of the big players out there may give a little bit of a discount at the beginning, but they're sure enough going to get you on the back end when you're leaving. And that to me really just sat true. And I thought, wow, we have so much power that we maybe don't even realize on the broker channel side, where we can explain this to customers. And everyone I would ask that question to, and the broker I asked that to, they would be able to explain it. But when they didn't even know, this 15-year bank employee didn't even know what an IRD penalty was, that just became very real to me on what some customers are faced with when they're having to pay out a fixed rate with a bank.